I try my best to save money and make that my priority and keep myself busy with non-spending things. That's essentially the gist of it.
Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. So today's minimalism video is actually a video request from Tina, longtime subscriber. We were actually chatting in the comment section, and then in conclusion, we talked about so what is my saving mentality. So I figured I'd share that with you guys. I have 6 points, and I figured this could help anybody else out in their saving journey, frugality journey, minimalism journey / money. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. So you guys know that it is no secret on my channel that I have accomplished a lot of my money goals, financial goals, because I am kind of extreme and unrealistic in my saving goals. So obviously the things I'm going to talk about today is not me trying to recommend to anybody else that in order for you to have a successful financial or minimalism journey, you need to copy the things that I do. That's never been the vibe on my channel. I don't tell anybody what to do. All I do is I share what worked for me and hopes that it could either, inspire you or at the very least entertain you. Okay, so number 1, zero-sum saving. I don't know where I got this from, but it was essentially that the goal is to spend as little as possible as opposed to budgeting, where you feel like you have a certain allocation of money towards things. So for me, something that's helped me a lot is I try my best to think how little can I spend and how much can I save. I mean, obviously, I still do kind of budget. I have a general idea of how much I spend. I start to see patterns. I also record everything that I spend and everything that I earn, so I can actually also see it on a spreadsheet. But the mentality that I have, and obviously I'm not going to share real numbers, it's more just the life philosophy. I try my best to think, if I don't buy this can go towards my savings, and that's just kind of the mentality that I've had with most things. Usually when I do buy something, it's because I can really justify it. I mean, obviously sometimes I have little impulse purchases here and there, which is fine, but generally speaking, on the whole, I'm very aggressive with my savings. So when I think, okay, if I don't buy that, I can save it, and that's just more or less my default setting. I'm very disciplined in this because I had to live like this for 5 years when I was saving up to pay off my student loans, which was 70,000 Canadian. Oh God, when I think about that, it's just but I learned a lot of good money saving habits through that. So I don't know, I guess I still do it. And I just lived like that for so long. I'm okay, let's just keep going with that. Okay, number 2, I mostly buy fresh food. Not to say that is necessarily a cheaper hack, but I've just kind of generally found that when I started buying more packaged food, sometimes I find it would cost more versus fresh produce is a lot cheaper. But I think that there is a caveat. I'm pretty my lifestyle allows for that. I go grocery shopping on the weekends, so I'm able to replenish my food. I know that grocery shopping on the weekends once a week is not sustainable for everyone. I've watched enough of these money saving videos to know that that doesn't work for everyone. So obviously this is just something that works for me. I prefer fresh fruit. I just feel that's how I'd rather spend my money. So I totally respect that people are happier bulk buying. That could be a better saving tip. For me personally, I just like having fresh food, fruit, and meat. And so I guess I have a lifestyle that allows me to do that. So I'll just take advantage of that. On the plus side is I feel I also don't have as much food waste because within the week I've more or less eaten up what I want. And I don't know, maybe it's just having grown up on welfare, but I can't stand the thought of food waste. I'm so the morality of it, how could you waste food? I don't know. So for me, I eat fresh food because I feel I don't have to deal with food waste. Not that those two things are related. I'm pretty sure in bulk buying you can definitely experience food waste. I'm just saying for me personally, I only buy what I need for the week so I can avoid food waste because I don't know, just it breaks my heart both from a morality standpoint and from a financial standpoint. Okay, and number 3, buy better quality, don't buy crap items. So somewhere along and this is actually a more recent one, I've kind of realized that sometimes when you buy things that are not of the best quality, they don't really last really long, and the general experience of using it is not the greatest. And I obviously want to disclaimer this. I think this is a more privileged minimalism mindset, but hear me out. I feel it's still a very frugal hack because sometimes buying the one item and using it for years is so much more cheaper than buying or replenishing an item over and over and over and over again. So as anyone who's ever experienced this, or if you guys have heard of the boot fallacy, if you buy one pair of good boots for $100 and it lasts you a lifetime, you've only technically spent $100 versus somebody who pays $50 but pays $50 every year for 10 years has spent an astronomical amount. So it's actually cheaper to just buy the good boots in the first place. And I have found that has been the case for me. I don't really own a lot of leggings. I just pretty much have Aritzia and Lulu leggings. I own 3 pair of leggings and
they last so much better. The quality is amazing. Like they don't pill, the stitching doesn't come out when you wash them, and they look so freaking good. But when I would buy, like during my, there was a phase when I first came back to Canada, like I just like had no money because I just finished paying off my student loans. I didn't have any money, so I started buying, what I could afford. And I've always been one to advocate for buying within your means. So I bought Walmart stuff, and I found like the quality just wouldn't hold up. And I was like, okay. So I figured like when I had the financial means to do so, I was gonna buy better but buy less. And so that's something that is also part of my saving mentality. I find that like when I calculate my expenses at the end of the year or at the end of the month, I find that I save so much more money because I just buy one good quality item and I don't have to replenish it because it just lasts longer. Okay, number 4, being very clear on your finances. I have literally made it a sport to be very clear on my finances. I know exactly like what is needed, what are the contribution limits for my RRSP, for my TFSA. I know what my tax bracket is. I know how much I'm making or expected to make, and I budget accordingly, and I live way below my means. And I know that it's interesting. I had a conversation with a friend and she wasn't really impressed that I'm so aggressive with my savings. She was like you're finally making money. Like, why don't you buy more expensive stuff? And I can respect that because the nature of my job, and maybe people who are self-employed or entrepreneurial will know that there are high seasons and low seasons when it comes to business. And that's a decision I made. I chose this lifestyle. Like if I really didn't want this, then I would go back to being an employee and working for somebody else. But I felt like the payout was something that I was okay with. I was okay with having to be tighter with money to ride out the low seasons of like my business, as opposed to having a steady income, but then my employer could just tell me, yeah, no, I'm sorry, we're letting you go. I don't know. For me, between those two, I would rather have the control of how I spend my money, but I'm in control and I'm the boss. I have experience being let go, and I don't know. I was just like, that wasn't a great experience, and it was enough of an experience where I promised myself if like I didn't have to, I didn't want to work for somebody else. And I'm not here knocking the 9 to 5. My business is still just a regular 9 to 5. Like, I'm not here telling you like I'm entrepreneurial and I'm making millions. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that like because of the nature of my job, it makes me, I don't know, it's just like the circumstances makes me feel more comfortable being very clear with my finances. So because of that, I prioritize making that very clear. And then I'm like a little bit more lavish with their stuff. But like that's like, it's like a very small percentage. And I make sure that all of this is here. Tina was saying, she was surprised I was able to make those contributions. But like, I don't know, I feel like my finances are my priority. That could just be like childhood trauma, growing up on welfare. I don't feel comfortable being financially irresponsible. So for me, I've just made that my financial priority. Those other things, those other material possessions, like they don't comfort me the same way that knowing that my finances are in order. And I'm okay living my life like that. I'm okay if that makes me like a miser and frugal, but I just feel more comfortable like that. So I'm gonna do it. Okay, number 5, avoiding money traps. So I made a little mini list of things that I consider money traps. These are just my list. If these are the things that make you happy, it's okay. This is just what works for me. So the first one is I try to avoid following all trends. And I said all trends. There's plenty of trends that I do follow. The athletic it girl trend, it had me like in a chokehold, and I definitely bought into that one, and I'm not ashamed. Literally, this Lululemon oversized scuba zip is part of that, and it was expensive. It was like $120 before tax. I know, absolutely ridiculous, but it makes me really happy, and I allow myself to indulge in trends. So the thing is, I don't follow every trend. I'm trying to think of a trend that I was like, yeah, that's not for me. The UGG mini with a platform. So I love Uggs. I have the UGG scuffettes, and I have like the regular cropped mini Uggs, like in the mini classic. But when I saw that they had a platform version of that, I was like, that's not for me. Like I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna topple over and fall. So I'm saying like I allow myself to follow trends because I don't know, I think it's like kind of unrealistic to be like follow no trends, but I just don't follow all trends, and that allows me to indulge in the trends that I do like. Then the other thing that I avoid is like I avoid weird colors, and I know that a lot of my subscribers are minimalists and they've said that this doesn't work for them. They enjoy their colors, and I agree. I don't think minimalism and colors is like a thing. Like it's not a married thing, but for me personally, I have found that after trial and error, because like I used to wear all pink in my minimalism. I don't really like weird colors. That's something that I decided for myself in, I think after many years of minimalism. I think like in my 8th or 7th year, I was kind of like, you know what? I don't really like colors. I don't like how it doesn't match. And if I'm going to have like a capsule wardrobe, if I need everything to pair, sometimes it's just like it not pairing doesn't look really good. And I think from like an aesthetic perspective, and this is just my own personal taste, I like that monochromatic look. I like when the top and the bottom is the same color. I think that looks very classy, and I think it looks really pretty. So for me, I've just decided that a money trap that I don't fall into is I don't buy weird colors. I don't care if it's on sale, but it's like in a weird color, like I'm not gonna buy it. I'll actually pay more to have the classic colorway, which I think it's so freaking annoying. Stores won't let the classic, especially places like Aritzia and Lulu, the classic colorways don't go on sale, so I have to pay full price for them. But I've made my peace with that I prefer that because I think it's really pretty. Because honestly, if you're always buying weird colors because it's on sale, you could have just spent the money on what you really wanted in the first place. And since for me, I don't want weird colors, I'm not gonna pay discount price for it. And I found that like on the long run, it's like saved me money. So I'm like, okay, it works, I'm gonna stick to it. Another money trap that I no longer fall into, but I fell into so hard for so many years. Maybe my subscribers will resonate with this, but like I used to buy makeup, like I used to spend unnecessary amounts of makeup. Granted, I was still a minimalist and I had student loans to pay off, so I never had like that much money or capital to spend on makeup. But hear me out. I would make makeup like a budget that was essential. Like I would cut from food to be able to buy like makeup, like to buy like another lipstick or like another shade of foundation. And while like I'm not here shaming anyone, like this is literally just me talking about my own personal experience. Like I literally documented this on my YouTube channel. And for me, I'm currently in a place right now, or at least recently, I was like, I don't want to have like a makeup budget. Like within the year, if I need to replenish something, I'll do it. But one of the other blessings that I have that maybe not might be applicable to everyone is that like I also get PR packages for makeup, so the PR packages are more than I would even buy myself in the year. So luckily that's not something that's part of my budget anymore. I don't need to replenish anything. I have more than enough makeup from my PR packages, so that is also a blessing, which I want to thank you guys for, because that was only possible because you guys watch my videos. So yeah, I don't have a budget allocation for makeup anymore just because of that. And that brings me to the other money sink, is like I also try to take advantage of my PR packages to replenish things. I accept PR packages of things that I wanted. So I was really into the romper trend, and then a company reached out that does rompers, so I was like, yes, let's do the collab. So I try my best to be, I guess, economical in that sense. I'm like, I'll put money away into my savings and the things that I want to buy. If I can do a collab with a company instead, like I'll take advantage of that. And obviously that's not a tip I want to give to other people, but if you happen to be a YouTuber, yeah, and a minimalist, take advantage of PR packages so you don't have to waste your hard-earned money. Like I understand like it takes time to video edit and whatever. I'm just saying this is something that I have implemented in my life, and if it could work for you, that would be awesome. And then number 6, something else that I did was like, I do think I suffer from a mild shopping addiction. Like I love to shop. When I shop, I feel really happy. I have mentioned that on my channel. I'm not ashamed. I am consumeristic as a minimalist. Like it's fine. At the end of the day, we have to live our lives for ourselves. But something that I've done is to help decrease my shopping addiction is I've taken up reading, which I've mentioned countless times throughout the years. You guys know that. But yeah, on my iPad, I read on my Kindle, I read books, I also write novels, which also helps give me a slower form of consumption. I also spend a lot of time video editing. For anybody who's a YouTuber, you guys know that video editing takes a lot of time. So that's something else that also kind of helps curb my shopping, where I'm like, instead of scrolling mindlessly on the Lululemon and the Aritzia app or like website, because Aritzia doesn't have an app currently, at least not that I know of. Yeah, so I video edit, and that takes up a lot of my free time. That when I'm not working, I'm working on my videos, and I feel like that's probably more true minimalism, because like I'm producing content as opposed to just mindlessly consuming, which is like a bad habit I got into with like TikTok. But I just thought as research, it's a season. We all need a season of rest. But yeah, I hope that the saving mentality could have helped. I try my best to save money and make that my priority and keep myself busy with non-spending things. That's essentially the gist of it. So yeah, thank you so much to Tina for the video request. I hope that this provided a little bit of insight into my saving mentality. I know it's not the most balanced, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. So thank you so much, Tina. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.